What is up, guys? It is Ecos and I'm back here with another Unity Devlog video, and today I'm going to go over what I've done on the Dark Realm over the past few weeks. But before we get started, for those who are new to this devlog series, first I recommend you go and check out the past devlogs on the Dark Realm, but also let me tell you what this game is about. Dark Realm is a 2D side-scroller about a normal man named Jake who was taken by this mysterious entity. After being attacked by the entity, he woke up in this place that seemed like home, but really, it was a living hell. While Jake was living this nightmare, in reality, he was in a coma. Jake didn't know he was in a coma, but he knew his only goals were to escape, figure out what happened to him, and why he is living this nightmare. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the video. Now, I know I said I was going to post a lot more regularly, but this time, this video took a lot longer for good reason. To start off everything, I needed to finish all of the terrain art for this first level. Everything for the darker scene is already done, as the player won't make it past the bridge. But for the bright and colored version of the world, I still needed to create one more forest frame and a town to finish off the scene. So I started with the forest. I started off with the foreground, and I put everything together, including the foliage and a sign that said town ahead on it. Before continuing on with anything else, I realized I felt very stressed and unorganized. I tried looking at my Trello board to organize my mind a bit and to reorganize my priorities / tasks, but my mind just went into a big blur of confusion. I realized that I've been pretty unmotivated lately, and after thinking about it, I realized that it's mainly because I haven't really been able to focus, and my mind has just been everywhere. I haven't written down any of my ideas, and my tasks were just everywhere within my mind. My mind was so jumbled, and I didn't even stop to think about why, but now I see that it's because of my unorganized priorities and my mind just being filled up with everything. I tried reorganizing my Trello board, but I just wasn't getting anywhere. Everything was still just a big blur, so I started looking for a new software that would help me organize my tasks, priorities, and my ideas. I eventually found Notion. It took me a bit to figure out and set up, as Notion has a lot to it, but it's an amazing program and it helped me piece everything back together. I was able to organize my ideas and tasks separately, I was able to flesh out my tasks and ideas easier, and I was able to prioritize different things better than I could before. I also started setting due dates for myself within Notion so I could force myself to get things done on time. Eventually, I had a place where I could prioritize and organize my things better than before, and my mind just felt a lot more clear. After organizing my tasks within Notion and putting everything together within that final forest frame and implementing it into Unity, I started on the town. I didn't fully know what I wanted the buildings to look like, so I started off by making the road and putting some grass in front of it. I then started on the buildings. Like I said, I didn't know what I wanted them to look like, so I just kind of winged it, and they turned out pretty good in my opinion. After completing the first building, I moved on to the next few, and I eventually added a cool brick pattern that fits the environment and style really well. I needed a total of 3 town frames, so after completing the first one, I completed the next 2. Finally, now that I was done with the art for now, I wanted to finally start with the story part of the game. So to start off, I needed to add a dialogue system, so I looked up Blackthorn Prod's video on a dialogue system, and I got to work. Not too long after, I had a working dialogue system, and I first needed to create a UI text box where the text would appear though. So I went into Photoshop and created a little text box with some rounded rectangles and shading. To start off the dialogue system, I wanted all the buildings to be locked, and to express that to the player, I needed the words "it's locked" to appear whenever the player tried to open a locked door. Adding this had a few kinks that I needed to work around, as most things do, but I got it working and it works amazingly. But now, after getting everything working, I needed to move on to the actual dialogue. So I began typing out the lines for different dialogues that would occur throughout the first level. And I started coding different ways to trigger each dialogue event. Of course, I ran into many bugs, and it took me a while to fix them, but I eventually got everything working just the way I wanted it to. Overall, this last month has been pretty fun and full of experiences. I've learned things and implemented things I never thought I would, and I in general just had fun, which is the most important thing. Like I've said in the past, I do plan to upload more frequently. I plan to do that with this episode, but I ended up adding a bunch of things and making lots of progress, which I'm honestly pretty happy about. I'm finally finding a joy and peace within game dev again, and I'm not constantly discouraged and unmotivated to do things. But on that note, that's it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you're new to this channel, click that subscribe button. I really appreciate it, and I hope everyone today has been going good. If it hasn't, then I hope this video helped. Then I hope you guys can do something today that I'm gonna do good, and then you can reflect on today and say it was a good day. So yeah, I'm Z Codes. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next one. Peace.